Yeah, it's very tough, to be honest, to kind of admit the fact that you're retiring from rugby, but the decision's out of my hands now. It's a medical decision, and it's the right decision. But it doesn't make it any easier, I guess, because rugby's a massive part of my life, and it's been my career for 10 years. That's the reason, Laura and myself moved over to Ireland, literally the other side of the world. So it's a sad time, but I'm also very happy, and I know I've been privileged to have played for 10 years professional rugby, and I'm very grateful for all the experiences that I've had and the friendships, the relationships that I've made over my time. So yeah, look, it's a pretty happy time as well, because I can celebrate my career now and look forward to moving on.
And talking about that happy side, I suppose you are turning 30 at the end of the month. It's that future thinking that you can actually be healthy and fit and healthy in going forward in life?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, rugby is such a small part of life when you look at it, kind of from the helicopter view, I guess. It has to end at some time, and unfortunately it wasn't on my terms, but I can now, I've kind of had the ability over lockdown to plan for the future and spend a lot of time with my family at home. So, there's been some pros to the timing, but also the cons are that I'm away from my teammates and the guys that I've spent a lot of time with. So I definitely miss those guys and the in-person relationships. And yeah, but at the same time, there's a lot to look forward to. It just might require a bit of patience until we find out what that is and when it can happen.
And I suppose Munster fans in particular, maybe just because of your journey and when you came over initially, you've probably had your ups and downs in terms of the injuries, and it's probably been frustrating, no doubt, for you and hard for supporters, maybe just to see you constantly go through that. What has the last few months been like, knowing that, okay, maybe I'm doing everything here that I've done possible, there's nothing much more, this is not going to change?
Yeah, I guess that's why I can't be too aggrieved with the decision, because I do know that I gave it absolutely everything, and I battled through 2 previous neck injuries, and the third one's the end of the line for me. I do want to thank the Munster supporters. They've been absolutely fantastic, and they're a massive reason why myself and the whole team, we love playing out in front of our home crowd and our away supporters as well. It still amazes me the support we get at any location around the world. So yeah, look, I thank everyone for their support, the personal messages and the support of the team. And it hasn't been the easiest time, and there's been a lot of adversity, but I can only control what I can control, and I've given it my best every day for the team, whether I'm playing or not. So that's kind of the motto I've been living by.
And during that time, obviously, as you said there, a bit of adversity, highs and lows, no doubt. Is there any kind of standout moments during your time in Munster that you can look back on and think, yeah, I'm pretty glad I was involved with that?
Yeah, I think the European Cup weeks are massive just because of the buzz around town, especially those home games. And the Saracens semi-final at the Aviva with and the absolute sea of red up there was unbelievable, even though we didn't get the result. And obviously the game that stands out was the Axel match at Thomond Park. It was, it was a period of time that I don't wish upon everyone or anyone, sorry. And it was extremely tough for the squad and those close to the squad. But I just thought the performance that we put out there that day, and to be a part of that on the field, there was so much emotion, but having to control that and still get a result, because that game meant so much more than any other game. So that was a massive one that will stick to me and stick with me, for forever. So I guess that'd be the number one. Also, I didn't play against the New Zealand Māori team, but to be on the sideline and run the waters for that match, it was, it was pretty special to be a part of, watching our boys run out against them, pretty soon after we played the Axel match.
I suppose that Axel match in particular, maybe people may not be aware or realise, but kind of shows the character that you are as well, that you picked up the man of the match in that game, incredible performance, as you said, in exceptional circumstances, and you brought your man of the match award up to the Foley household in Killaloe the next day, was it?
Yeah, I don't know what made me think of it, but a nice bit of crystal, a vase or whatever it is. But, I thought it'd be a nice memento for the Foley family to have and put on their shelf and remember a pretty special occasion. obviously very sad at the time, but maybe when they look back, it'll be something to remember the game by.
And he would have been someone, I suppose, who would have always highly regarded you in terms of always talking about you and not being a piece of meat when people were referring to your history of injuries and coming over and making sure you were looked after. So I suppose kind of nostalgic and emotional links there as well.
Yeah, exactly. He was the coach when they recruited me from New Zealand, and I was a young fella moving over to the other side of the world. And when you're moving over with a serious injury, it's not ideal. So I had the support from him, from Garrett Fitzgerald as well. I'd be wrong not to mention him. And it's sad that both of those great Munster men have passed, but I really appreciate the support that I had from them and everyone else. Considering the circumstances, they showed a lot of trust in me, and that's why I've just tried to repay it with everything I've had.
True Munster man now, Tyler. Obviously, as you said, you moved to the other side of the world with Laura. You've now set up your family life there. You've little Bodie with you. How will you see now the future going for you guys?
Yeah, we've been set up here in Limerick now 5.5 years, and Laura and I got married during that time, and we've got a young son, Bodie, who's just turned 2, and we've got another one on the way in a few months. So yeah, we just play it as it comes for the next few months. There's not much we can do in regards to travel or looking for work or anything. We just enjoy the family time, be patient, and trust that it all works out.
And just, you're talking about 5.5 years, and obviously moving aside from injuries, everyone got a real glimpse, and more than a glimpse, of what you could do during that 16-17 season. And you obviously picked up the Munster Rugby Player of the Year award, which is incredible because that's nominated by your fellow peers and then voted on, and nominated for European Player of the Year. It's probably true to say the standing that you're in the squad, you're referred to as the general. Is that just in terms of you dictating what goes on at number 10, or is it just more than that?
Yeah, it's probably a lot to do with the position, I guess, and the direction I can give on the field, and maybe something to do with my off-field persona, which isn't the most lively persona out of the squad. But maybe when I speak, I don't mince words too much, and I probably don't get too animated. So giving directions are part of the position, and I just try to give it as clear as possible, and the boys can call me whatever they want.
I think that's what will be missed most. The fact that you're part of that leadership group, you're part of the senior player group, you were always highly regarded and respected. And was that something that just easily happened when you got in there, or was it just you kind of built up this relationship with the lads?
Yeah, a bit of both. Everything that you do for the matches is how you kind of earn that respect, that mutual respect between teammates and staff. It's, and then on top of that, it's just how much work I was willing to put in, I guess. And I was pretty passionate about the squad getting better, and we're trying to win silverware. And it was, massive drive for me. That was the motivating factor. So I'm trying to give everything I can. And a lot of that, due to injury or non-selection or just because I wanted to, was put in off the field. But all that work, it has to start with your performances, which when you're injured is very tough. So, as I said, there was a lot of adversity, but the guys trusted me enough that when I spoke, it was for genuine reasons and for the betterment of the squad. And yeah, it's going to be tough because I've given so much and created those relationships, and that's what's going to be tough to say goodbye to.
And that tactical and technical know-how, is that something that you would like to maybe pass on in future, or coaching or anything like that you've kind of considered at this stage, or is it just too early?
Coaching's definitely something I'm looking to do. The current environment is not the easiest to transition to at the moment, but I'm putting in a lot of work behind the scenes to ready myself. And like you say, I have a good technical awareness from playing, over the last 10 years. I've had a lot of experiences, good and bad, and I'll be really keen to apply that to a coaching career. But I know that's not the easiest transition to make. So, I'm looking to put in some hard work now and get myself in a good position.
Sounds good. I suppose just finally, I know obviously circumstances very different at the moment, but our supporters would love to have that opportunity to say goodbye to you or wish you well, and probably give that, and for Munster Rugby to give you that proper send off, which may not be possible obviously with the way the season's rolling out. Is that something that hopefully we will be able to see you at a game at some stage, or how do you think that'll work out in the next few months?
Yeah, look, we plan on being around for the next few months, and we're all wishing, the absolute best for the sport, but obviously the health of our people in Ireland at the moment is number one priority. And once that gets sorted, we look at getting back to playing rugby, which, I'd love to be around to go watch a game as a spectator. That'd be quite nice for once. And look, I don't play the game for the personal and individual accolades. So it's always nice to know you've got the support out there, and it's tough not being able to say goodbye in person at a match, but I'm sure I'll be around to see the supporters sometime in the future.